Hey, what's up, peeps? Y de lo mío. Sit down, sit down, sit down and take a seat. Que lo que. Siéntate. Lawrence and beyond, and everybody else. What's going on? On this episode, your boy, hosting like always, Majimbe. And today, I got returning and special guests. I got Michael. What's good, Ollie?
Good.
And Erika.
Hello.
And guys, briefly introduce yourselves if you haven't. What's good, Mike? I know you've been here too, man.
I'm Michael. I make short films right now, and I just did this short film called Erika.
I'm Ollie. I make music, but I also was the star in Boys Will Be Boys, and then I helped a lot with the sound and the music for the movie. So if y'all need sound, let me know.
A lot of good work.
I'm Erika Grimm. I make music and star in the film. Yeah.
So, and when this movie came out, I saw it from the beginning to the end. I actually saw it twice, so I could get the concept. And one of the things that popped out to me the most was the soundtrack. Where did the soundtrack come from? And I felt nostalgic too. So it's were you still following that previous director that kind of influenced you from the movie prior, or this was a different flow for you?
I think this was a different flow for me because I was gravitating towards more of these films that I was watching at that time. It's more like Lady Bird, a lot of Greta Gerwig kind of work. I was really inspired by her work. The music, I was listening to a lot of 80s music while working on it. So I actually wrote the script to a couple of Erika's playlists on her Apple Music. And she's into pop 80s music, a lot of alternative music. And Max Cooley on score, my PA Ray, she hooked it up, and she told me that he wanted to do scoring for films, and he was open to doing it. And this was different from how we did Boys Will Be Boys. He came on set, wrote notes for one day, and then he wanted me to send him the playlist I used while writing Erika. So then he used all of that and created the soundtrack of what the film is now.
Okay. The movie did have a fluidity with the noise, and stuff like that. That's just pretty dope. And Erika, how that's your first time acting?
Yeah. It was really nerve-wracking because I don't really like to be in front of the camera, or, speaking in front of the camera. But I just got through it, and it was pretty cool experience.
Word. Was it time consuming?
Oh yeah. Oh my God. I think it took 2 months.
It was probably 3 months and off on shooting, because we'd have 2 or 3 strict full-on days of shooting, and then there'd be days where people would be super busy and I'd have to attack them just for me to get these certain shots in. But yeah, probably I could probably put a good week if you put these days together, a good 7 days in total.
And how many weeks you guys spent on it? Recording?
Recording?
Yeah.
We spent I think it was a weekend, and then we spent a weekend and then one more day. We shot most of it in the first week of December. We shot it during that weekend, and then we filmed the beginning of the film where they're in the studio. We shot that in January.
That's a nice studio, by the way.
Yeah, that's Gerald's studio.
Cool.
Glass House. That's their studio.
Shout outs.
So
Shout
I
out
was
Glass House.
grateful they let me use it. So
Awesome. And with that stuff, I was just curious. During I remember Boys Will Be Boys. You were the lead on that stuff. And great job, by the way.
Thank you.
But what's interesting, I didn't I expected a whole different vibe. I felt a whole different vibe, right? I saw her, I'm all right, cool. I'm okay, she, it brought me back to when I was 14. It was kind of cool. And then I know where I saw him as the brother at the door. That was hilarious. That was great. And
quick little cameo and shit.
Yeah. But before I start jumping everywhere, the reason why I asked like how many weekends you put in and stuff like that sounds like it's like 4 days maybe.
Yeah, probably 4 days in total of shooting.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Because like the movie was about 17 minutes long, I believe.
Yeah, we had like 2 other scenes that didn't make the film because it would have been extremely longer. I remember the first cut of the film was like, the first cut of the film was almost like 20 minutes. I'm pretty sure plus the credits it probably would have been like 22 or 23. But we cut 2 scenes out. Eric had a lot of screen time. He had because we had like a third arc in the film where he was trying to make music, as you can see like in the beginning and even the conversation in the studio, and then we had a scene where Erika was talking to another actress like sitting down while she was there. But we had to cut it out due to pacing. Maybe one day I'll drop them, but
you should. I'm like, why not make a full movie? Like
I could pretty much. I'll probably do a director's cut if need be. Talk to Marcus, see what's up.
And what do you meant pacing? Like what was like? Tell me a little bit about that.
Well, when it comes to making films, you have to like. I remember Marcus told me this thing where it's all about like cutting your darling sometimes, where there's gonna be scenes that you shoot but they won't fit in the movie sometimes. So I remember we watched the first cut. And me and Marcus, at first, I was like, all right, I feel like this scene wouldn't fit because it'll slow down the movie. Or there'll be scenes where they just don't fit due to, like, problems, technicalities that we went through shooting it. And me and Marcus went back and forth, and we decided to do that just so the film could feel nice when you're watching it and you don't feel bored or anything, or even, like, things don't feel out of place, you know?
Yeah. And that makes sense. And that quote, sometimes you can tell times I can't read. Tough times never last, but tough people do by Robert. Where did that come from? Like you put that in the beginning. Like,
what happened was I really wanted a quote at the beginning of this film, and one of my friends that helped out a lot with sound as well, Eric helped, and my friend the Starlin. He's like abroad right now, and I sent him like the files and everything. So technically, this film went to like Prague, and he was in Prague just like working sound over there. So he helped me find these quotes. Like I remember there was like one day I hit up everyone. I was like, "Yo, what's a good quote for this like film?" And everybody was trolling me like a lot. And I remember my friend the Starlin sent me that one quote. And I just sat with it, and I was like, this kind of describes the film as a whole perfectly. Just for the fact that you get the tough times with Erika going through all these trials and tribulations just to get to the audition. And then you got these tough people, which is Faith, in the film, and you get to see her deal with her friendship. So it kind of puts a good balance, just that whole quote.
Cool. And it does make sense towards the end. And I still have some questions which I'll probably like ask like later on, like, but whose idea was it to bring the Sour Patch Kids as a snack?
That
like,
was
as
funny.
It was a little gag because we would laugh about it all the time because Erika, she just loves Sour Patches, so it was something I wrote in the script earlier on.
No, first he put water, and I don't drink water, so then he had to change it to Sour Patch Kids.
Yeah. She didn't like water.
Put water?
I forget why.
How you write Erika and put water?
It was so random. I don't even remember. But yeah.
And with that, like with sour candy, like I gotta stay away from them because if I eat them too much, I feel like my tongue peels off. Like
that's the best feeling, bro.
Yo, the next day is the worst feeling.
You try to eat and it's like,
oh, gross. Like damn. And you still pop another one or something.
Bro, you still opening the pack of Skittles like,
this is horrible. Oh man,
I love sour candy.
And throughout the movie, I found it pretty dope how you went through like 50 other studios and saw the murals, but like by John Hand, Technique, the other artists is there.
Yeah.
It was kind of cool how you included that in the movie. I'm like, let's go. I'm like, Lawrence, let's go. Jesus, I'm like, Lawrence.
That was the very first day we shot. That's when everybody got to meet each other. That's when Erika got to meet Natasha, which is the girl playing Faith.
Oh wow, you guys weren't even like...
They didn't know each other at all.
That's crazy.
Shout out Gerald, because Gerald was the one that introduced me to Natasha. I think it was like 2 weeks before shooting, we had to find somebody to play Faith. So Gerald hooked it up, and he told me about Natasha. She was into like, she did plays back in like high school. So yeah.
And Erika, do you think it would have been easier if it was like a real friend, or it's better?
No,
with
I
a
think
stranger?
I think she was perfect because like we bonded the same day that we met. It wasn't awkward at all, like at all. I don't know how, but it was pretty cool.
Yo, and how funny was Larry? Like, yo, that was hilarious. I was like, yo,
I know you bisexual.
I was like, yo, I feel like he's barely like
He's just being himself.
Yeah,
like,
right.
really.
Like, yo, he's just being himself. I'm like, yo, Larry's hilarious, bro. Like, Jesus, yo, it was funny. It was funny.
He actually like improvised all that. Both of them were in the car, and they just used the script as like a template almost.
Yeah.
And me and Marcus, I yelled action. I wasn't expecting him to say like all those things, so it was hard because you're improvising, and while we were shooting, we're trying not to like fuck up the audio or like have us like giggling in the background.
Yeah.
So we're just there like
his mic was loud. He was loud.
Oh yeah, that was tough.
That was tough to even like touch on, cause like when he brought me like all the sounds and stuff, that one part was like out here compared to everything else, and I'm like, oh, like originally if you heard like the original take, it sounded so much like so distorted.
Like, it was loud. Yeah.
Like, let me see. I'm like, damn, Joe, you didn't have
You
to
went
scream
in.
that loud, bro.
You went into character, like.
We got like 5 different takes of that. So it was funny picking and choosing what I wanted him to say. So everything kind of fit well. It was supposed to be a page-long argument. Turned out to be like probably like 3 pages.
Sheesh.
Part of the script. But yeah, maybe 2. But yeah.
I liked it. I liked it.
I love it too. Yeah. Probably the funniest part of the film.
That was one of my favorite scenes right there.
Yeah.
Shout outs to Glass House and those guys.
Shout out Glass House.
Yeah.
Shout outs. And Erika, no, anybody commented on you how you grabbed the phone on that first scene?
No.
I don't know.
Why is it weird?
I don't know. I was just wondering. Because for a second you got the phone like this, they're like, you finally adjusted your finger, right? Like,
damn.
You
finally adjusted your finger.
I have to practice now. Oh my god.
I'm trolling.
It up like, hello?
I'm kidding. And but I do have a question. Towards the end, so like Levy's character made like sure to point out like, oh, you're bisexual. I'm like, okay. I'm like, oh, okay. It might head that way, but I'm like, nah. Don't assume. Let's see where this movie goes.
That's why Erika was trying to get them to break up in the first place.
Yeah, but before I even continue on that, it was kind of cool, the argument though.
Yeah.
How you got out the car. I mean, like, it sounded like, and it felt like a type of argument I've heard before. How friends fight and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And that was pretty dope and stuff. But back to the story, right? And towards the middle end, and how it ended, I was like, oh, I thought they were just gonna chill.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I didn't get that like this was a romance.
Oh no, I mean,
the spoiler alert, it might not be a romance. I don't know what it is yet. I'm still figuring it out.
No.
Like, you gotta choose.
We're leaving it open-ended, so let your imagination run as it will.
Yeah, honestly, that's how I would say it. I mean, I rewrote the ending probably like, I rewrote the ending like a week before we shot that.
Word?
And I remember it was because I seen this movie about these 2 girls having like a great friendship, and I felt like she wasn't supposed to come back at the end. Erika was just supposed to get the audition and that's it. But I felt like you have Erika have a like serious conversation with Faith like that in the car and leave her. It feels empty if she never came back. So you're sitting there like, I felt like me as a person watching this film, like, all right, so that's it, they're not friends anymore. And it felt like you needed that whole like circle to come back. So I had her written to come back at the end, kind of just them coming together and saying, oh, I'm sorry for the mistakes we both did, and kind of just apologizing to what happened.
That's what I thought.
Yeah. That's what I wanted, and then everybody on Twitter was just like, oh,
so they're not gonna kiss?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But honestly, if people want to think that way, then I mean,
It's because
that ending
Leary was
is
yelling
open-ended.
bisexual.
Yeah, that was all improvised. That wasn't even on the template. He just, I kind of think it worked well because it had people thinking things and people were just laughing at the way he just responded to the text messages. So
It's pretty dope, man.
yeah.
Shit. And do you have any like any how should I say, like after this little shorts, are you planning to make more pretty soon? Like are you guys getting right out of work or what's going
Yeah,
on?
definitely. Right now, Marcus and I are just planning out the next couple projects we're gonna do. We're doing like, I think probably 3 or 4 more shorts. I know in like next month, personally, because for college I have a short film I have to do.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of just prepping for that, just to have it done. But right now, yeah, we're working on just short films and other projects.
Dope.
Hopefully, I'm just trying to learn how to write features so I can finally get that one big movie done.
And what do you mean like write features?
Like a
feature
big
length?
hour and 30 minutes.
Oof.
I want to do that. I feel like I can't. I feel like I don't want to be able to do short films like for my entire life. I want to be able to just do a feature, maybe.
Yeah.
So
I kind of felt that by the scenes that you cut, that it sounded like it kind of like it would have messed up the pacing, but it
Yeah.
would have been a movie though.
Mhm.
You would have put all
Yeah.
that in. You know what I'm saying?
it's really tough. I feel like even doing an hour and 30 for me, if I was to edit that, that'd be a challenge for me, and I want to challenge myself more when it comes to working. I mean, with Erika, we were editing that for a good 3 months, and it was on and off. Like
Yeah.
and it was my first project on like Premiere Pro. I used to use Final Cut, so it was different for me just to use that.
Yeah. And it sounded like, let's say 4 days, 4 times 24 is, I don't know, it's 6, boom, 80, 96. I don't know.
See right here, we needed to zoom
96.
into your face and then do the whole like
Yeah.
back on the wall. Where it's just like adding every.
I'm gonna guess 96. No. 4 days is 32 hours. No way.
4 days.
It's
no,
96
40
hours.
42 hours is 2 days, so 3 days.
What?
4
I mean,
days is
because- no.
96 hours, right?
What? No.
so
bad at
math.
Okay, you said so.
48 plus
All right,
48.
24
48
times
hours.
48. That's what I meant. 48.
2 days.
48 hours is 2 days.
Yeah, 96
So,
hours.
Yeah. 96 hours is 3 days.
No, 4 days
Eric.
is 96 hours.
See, this is why I failed math in freshman year.
Yeah. So basically for 96 hours is basically like for 17 minutes, and for an hour and a half, how much like
Editing.
you think you're gonna be like filming like for like 3 months?
I think
Or-
if everybody has a good schedule, we could shoot it in like 3 months maybe,
Yeah.
and then spend the rest of the year editing it.
Yeah. Sounds like a lot of work.
Yeah, but I'm with it.
That's what's up. And Ollie, I heard that you did music, man. Tell me a little bit about that. Actually.
Yeah, the song in the beginning, Self-Medicated, that like the intro song was a song that we did a while ago.
Word.
I produced it and like wrote it, and she like sang the song beautifully. And then the song at the end, like the outro song to the film, we wrote that to Max Cooley's beat too.
Yeah.
And we've just been working a lot on the music, but mostly what I worked on was the sound, like like making everything leveled out so that it wouldn't be like one scene would sound a lot different from the next scene and stuff like that. And yeah, we've just been doing a lot of work. We actually have a project coming out soon.
Yeah.
So
What is it?
Medieval Bastards coming out soon. So
Medieval Bastards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
so
It's we're thinking about like fall
probably
maybe.
like fall, yeah.
Fall 2020.
Fall 2020.
Yeah. No, we got a new sing. We actually the song from the movie we're gonna try and drop by the end of the month.
Yeah.
I was hoping to do like a music video, but we'll see.
You will see.
We'll see.
And
Things
for that
coming up.
project, how many tracks do you think you're gonna have inside of it?
Probably about 6.
6.
Yeah. The most would be 6. It's like a little EP
That's
intro.
what's up.
But it's gonna be different, a lot different from like what you would normally try and hear. We want it to be very unexpected in a way. Like normally you expect a girl to sing R&B all the time and stuff like that. Like we want this to really sound like something you wouldn't have heard from anyone.
Something different, different angles, stuff like
Mhm.
that. And
How long have you both been doing music?
Forever.
Yeah, literally.
Church, like
Damn,
kids.
since we were kids, to be
Yeah.
honest.
Yeah, the roots churches. It's
Yeah.
Always
amazing.
church.
Yeah.
Singing and performing in churches first, and then talent shows. But really taking it serious, I was like 14 when I started really like making beats and learning to record myself in my room. And we started making like real music like officially like 2 years ago.
Word.
Like about 2 years ago.
Dope. And so like you started with church, right?
Mhm.
And how did that affect how would you say church affected your development?
I don't know. That's alright. Development in what?
Like if you were being like you think you would have been good without it, good with
Definitely
it.
not. I feel like church like made me who I am.
Word.
In a lot, like I do like believe in God and in the spirit world, and I don't know. If without it, I feel like I'd be a whole mess.
Word.
It keeps me grounded like all the time.
Dope. And Michael, you said you wanted to do 3 or 4 more projects this year.
Yeah, me, Marcus, and I are probably gonna be working. Some of them won't be like directed by me. I'll probably be assisting. Probably working on my own work sometimes, but I'm really just trying my best to help Marcus out and help anyone out that wants to do any projects. Really.
Dope,
Yeah.
dope. And right now you taking in like any writers, people like that.
Definitely. Marcus and I are actually looking for writers or anyone that's looking to make short films. So if anybody wants to, interested in that, they could contact me or Marcus. You'll probably add the information at the bottom, something. But yeah.
Do you, on top of your head, do you have like the theme or an idea of the next one?
The next one.
Sign you could just like
A little taste test,
a little
bro.
taste test.
The next one, I'm just trying to I remember I was in class and I was telling them I really wanted to do a film where it was a guy and a girl just vibing.
Vibing.
That was literally the whole sentence, and everybody laughed at me, but it was like I was serious, and
Just vibing.
They're just vibing.
yeah, and I think I started writing the script like I think like last week after we celebrated dropping Erika, the night after. It's a little hangover,
Yeah.
and I just was writing,
So,
and then I think probably like 2 days or 3 days after I finished the first draft.
Yeah.
So I'm still working on it, working the kinks, production, and all that. By like mid-April, I'll start shooting it, but it'll be for my own film studies class, and then after that, I'll probably have it do like a festival run if
Word.
things go right, and then I'll drop it in the fall.
To the same festivals you plugged in yourself from the previous films.
Yeah, we've been just submitting the films to the festivals. We actually submitted Erika to I think 3 festivals. I don't know about the third one yet, but the other 2 have selected Erika. So
That's
so
what's up.
far, I'm not sure. We've gotten the ribbons for it, but I'm not sure if they're gonna screen it anywhere or anything. But
Yeah.
the information will come out eventually.
Word.
Yeah.
That'd be dope.
Yeah.
there you
Like-
go.
That'd be
That's
dope if
2
follows through,
movies
man.
now, bro.
Thank you.
Because it was a beautiful short, like the fluidity of it, the music, how it was going through it, story to end. It was a story that it was up to you to decipher what happened. She was in her bathrobe. I remember that. So I don't know. Hey, but hey, I'm in my bathrobe when I'm relaxing at home, and people come over like, hey, what's up, Brian? Hey, just chilling. Whatever. It's another day. But hey, I don't know if that was Erika's character. How you since you play the character, what do you feel like Erika was like going through right there?
That's me. I don't know. Just it was a weird.
That's her everyday.
Yeah, I don't
there's
know.
really, there's not. There's
Like it's just me.
Yeah. Okay.
Always
Normal.
just relaxing.
Did you become friends with the actual actor?
Yeah, I love her.
That's what's up. That's pretty dope.
Shout out Natasha.
It was pretty funny because that day when we met her, she stayed with us the whole day,
Yeah.
from morning to like 1 a.m.
She went to a party with us.
She went to like a family party.
And then
It was my
Family
boy's
party.
birthday, and
Yeah.
then went to the studio. We spent the whole day. That was like the whole day just meeting her, and then like
The
even
next
now,
day.
she was supposed to come today, but she was like, she was just having fun today because she
Yeah.
just came out of college and all that.
That was
Spring
word.
break.
Yeah, spring
so.
break, you know.
Yeah.
That's what's up, man. And do you guys have like any shout outs, anything you want to throw out there?
Shout out Newberry Comics.
Dogs, you work there?
No, because he shared the movie to Newberry Comics, and they like followed me,
Yeah.
and then they shared the movie. And
Shout outs.
yeah.
Shout out
Shout
to
out
them.
good people.
Word. That's what's up, yo. Shout out to Newberry Comics for like really looking at the underground stuff. You know what I mean? And taking the time to look at the work. Say like, this is good.
Yeah, that was pretty dope. I kind of appreciate that they did that. I just
I mean,
took it out of a limb and just DM'd them and see if they answered, and they answered. I fell asleep, so then I woke up and I saw it. I saw it through Erika's text because she was like, "Did Newberry Comics really just do that?" And I was like, and I just sent her the screenshot of what I did, and she was like, "Aw." No, I was like, "All right, cool."
shit, that's what's. I would have been like, yes.
Yeah, I was really
freaking out.
excited.
She was like, what's going on? Is this real life? I'm looking at the screenshot like, what am I looking at? And then I read the name. I'm like, oh.
It's like that much, yo.
hey.
I just start sending your shit to like mad. So I'm like, boop boop boop
Yeah.
boop boop. Like, let's see what happens.
That's usually
dope.
how it goes. Yeah, I could shout out Ricky and Darlene. Right here.
For
Matching. They're matching like green right now.
See that? You see?
That's crazy.
It's good. Ali. Any new music?
Yeah, actually, I just dropped a single like a month ago. Yeah, Valentine's Day. It's a Spanish song called Sin Relaciones, so you can look it up on SoundCloud and whatnot. It's gonna be out on all streaming services soon. Then I have another song coming out this month, another Spanish song. I'm just trying to get a single out every month and stuff, you know, get the vibes going, because
Word.
the more continuous music you drop, the more people listen and stuff. And then we got our stuff coming out soon, which is I'm excited for. Actually, I'm more excited for that than for my own stuff, to be honest with you.
Yeah. And you guys' stuff is gonna be English?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Alright, well,
yeah, for the most part.
that's dope.
I can't really sing Spanish.
That's why.
I can try, but like it's not gonna happen.
And then yeah, I've just been trying to work, you know, making more music every day. The more I work, the better it gets.
Word.
It's just every month, you just watch out for a new Ollie single.
Word. Erika, what's good with your music?
What about it? I don't know what to say. We're trying to make bedroom pop. I don't know if people know what bedroom pop is, but that's like the vibe that we're going for.
Kind of like the soundtrack in the films where they kind of sound like 80s,
Mhm.
almost indie
Yeah.
kind of music. Like that's
Yeah.
that's
Like
kind of what
Twilight. We're trying to go for like a Twilight sound. I don't know. I love Twilight.
We want to make you cry, but we also want to make you drive to the beach and smoke a blunt. So
Chill vibing.
Mhm.
That's what's up. Yeah, I got that from that vibe too. Like, and hell yeah, that's dope. And guys, thank you for coming. It's nice having y'all, man.
Thank you.
Like, yo, Erika, like, yo, guys, please watch it.
You
Ollie,
better.
yo, this
Thank
is
you,
coming,
man,
brother.
of course.
I don't know why they didn't dap you up, bro. I just, like, we just like.
Bro, I always go for the regular handshake.
Yeah, man. I know, right? You're just like, it's like you have that you have the swag right now. I'm like, damn, let me respect this, man. You shake his head.
Looking like an 80s detective right
Yeah.
now.
Anel views.